Dark Shadows, number 38, VTR 21567, Air 22267, take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. A man has come to Collinwood. A man searching for answers. A man with probing questions that are disturbing to all who come in contact with him, and forces them to quick and almost violent decisions to act.
If you want what you've asked of me, then you've got to help me get what I want.
I already said I would.
No matter what the cost?
No matter what the cost. As soon as I'm through running this check on Guthrie, and if we find out who he is and what he stands for and what he's doing here.
I can't wait that long.
Well, what do you suggest?
I was hoping you might have a solution.
Well, as soon as I find out something concrete.
Burke, they're all against me. Carolyn, Vicky, Liz, and now Guthrie. It's too much.
Well, you've got Roger to help you.
Oh, that's a big help.
What do you want me to do?
You get along very well with David. He likes you. He'll listen to you. He looks up to you. I want you to convince him to go away with me. There's no alternative, Burke. Oh, please arrange it. He's got to go away with me.
I want to talk to you.
Look at these flowers from Dr. Guthrie. He sent them to me because I wasn't feeling well. Isn't that nice of him?
I don't care.
What don't you care? That I wasn't feeling well or that he sent me flowers?
I don't care about anything. I want to talk to you.
All right, David. Now, what is it?
I heard about last night.
What did you hear?
About the seance.
Who told you?
Mrs. Johnson.
Well, I'm going to have to talk to her. She shouldn't have.
Why? Why must there be secrets from me?
David, it's not a question of secrets, but there are certain things that it's better for a little boy not to know about.
Not when it's about Josette. I saw her first, so she's mine.
David, there is no such thing as owning her.
But there is.
First of all, you're being very silly, and secondly, you're being rude.
Well, why wasn't I invited?
Because a seance is no place for a little boy.
Why not? Josette's my friend. I should have been there.
David, I'm not going to argue with you. You're just going to have to take my word for it.
I don't have to take your word for it. I don't have to take anybody's word for it. Today I'm mad at the whole world.
David, please.
Don't touch me. Can't make up.
Where are you going?
I'm going out to play.
Can I come with you?
No, I don't want to. I want to be alone.
Now is the time to act with David.
I'll help. I'll do everything within my power.
Thank you. Time is short. We've got to act quickly.
Why the rush? Wouldn't it be better to let the boy come to you on his own?
Yes, it would be better, but I just don't have time to let that happen. I've got to act while Liz is in the hospital. It's hard enough to arrange that.
What do you mean, arrange?
Nothing. Nothing. I just mean that I tried very hard to convince people to send her to the hospital. Not just for me, for her own good. You know as well as I do that she never could have received proper treatment here. Well, that's all I meant.
Well, I'll talk to David as soon as I can find him.
Do it today.
Well, I don't know where he is. I can't go up to Collinwood and knock on the door and ask for him the way Roger and Carolyn feel about me.
But it's a nice day. He's probably out playing. Why don't you try the old house? No, I know. Try the fishing shack. He likes to play there.
Okay. I'll try to find him.
Thank you.
Laura, there are a lot of things that don't add up.
You've got to trust me.
Okay, Laura.
We've got to trust each other. If you want me to help you, you've got to help me to get David.
Hello, Davy.
Hi, Burke.
How are you?
I'm fine. I guess.
Huh? Hey, what are you up to?
I'm trying to get some of this stuff straightened out. It's no good the way it is.
Yeah, it sure is tangled up, isn't it?
Nobody cares about it. My father's never around to fix it, and I can't do it by myself.
Well, maybe I ought to help.
You think you can?
Oh, yeah, I think I can handle it. You know, Davy, you know what we ought to do? We ought to get a boat and go out in the bay and do some fishing.
You really mean it?
Sure, why not? It would be fun. It's been a long time since I had a reel in my hand. I ought to get back to it.
Well, when could we go? Soon? Tomorrow?
I'll ask Vicky about it.
I don't think we'll ever get to go.
Why not?
Oh, she won't let me. She gets too worried about colds and junk like that.
Well, I'll tell her I'll bundle you up good and warm. Hey, you know, I have an old, heavy fishing jacket. Probably come down to about your knees there.
Your jacket? You're gonna let me wear it?
Sure, I'll let you wear it. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll let you wear it even before we go fishing, all right?
Honest?
Honest. Then you can play with it, okay?
Oh, thanks.
That's all right. See, I guess you don't have much fun around here, do you, Dave?
You can say that again. Everybody's been acting so crazy.
Crazy?
Well, you know what I mean. Strange.
What about your mother?
Well, she's all right, I guess.
You're not very enthusiastic.
Well, I used to like her a lot before she came back, when I would just think about her.
Oh, well, what'd you feel when you saw her?
I didn't like her so much anymore. She scares me.
Oh. How do you mean? How?
Well, I don't know. I can't explain. She just scared me. It's the way I felt.
How do you feel now?
Well, I like her now. But I don't mind being with her anymore.
Well, you ought to love her, David. She loves you very much.
Well, I try. But I can't get it out of my head that I was afraid of her once.
I see. I guess that would be a little difficult. But, you know, you ought to give her a break. She's a very nice woman.
Well, I suppose I'll try.
You know what you ought to do?
No. What?
You ought to take a trip with her.
Where to?
Well, anywhere she wants to go. And besides, you say you're not having very much fun around here.
But what makes you think I'd have more fun with her?
Well, you'd get away. There's a whole world outside this town.
Oh, I'm not so sure I'd want to.
Why not? She's very smart. She could teach you a lot. You'd have a good time, too.
Well, I wouldn't mind being with her for a little while. But I wouldn't want to be with her forever. I can't leave here forever.
Well, how do you know? You might go out of this town, and then you'd find out you liked it out there, and you never would want to come back. You'd be surprised. Think it over anyway, will you?
Oh, okay, I'll think about it. But I'm still not sure.
Seems to me a boy would like to get away.
Well, most boys would, but not forever. And not with someone that once scared you so much.
Well, that about does the job.
Now we'll have great equipment for our fishing trip.
Yeah, that's right.
You won't forget.
No, I won't forget. And don't you forget either. Give a little thought to going on that trip with your mother.
I will. It's a deal. We both won't forget.
There you are. I've been worried sick about you. Hello, Bert.
Hi, Vicky. How are you?
I'm fine. David, I don't want you ever to run off like that again without telling me where you're going. Is that understood?
Yes, I guess so.
You have no idea how worried I was.
I'm sorry.
That's more like it.
Burke,
Yeah?
ask her now. About the trip.
What trip?
Well, I thought I'd take Davy on a little fishing trip out in the bay.
In this weather?
I told you what she'd say.
I'd make sure he was bundled up good and warm.
We'll talk about it in the spring. Then maybe you can do it.
All the people around here just want to spoil my fun.
Where are you going now?
To my mother's cottage.
I wish you wouldn't.
My father says I can, and if he says I can, I'm going.
All right. But you be back before dark.
Okay.
What's wrong with seeing you?
Mrs. Stoddard wouldn't like it. Please, Burke, I don't want to talk about it.
Suit yourself. Now I want to know how you really are.
I'm all right.
I heard about it last night.
Well, news certainly travels fast around here.
Yeah, I tell you something. I was a little concerned. I saved your life once, and I guess I have a sort of investment in you.
With you, everything always boils down to business.
Well, not everything.
It's funny that it should be Josette again. Just like before. And fire.
Fire?
Well, it's very hard to explain, but just before I fainted, I got a very strange sensation that I was burning alive.
What's this Dr. Guthrie up to?
He's trying to get to the bottom of Mrs. Stoddard's illness.
Well, he sure has a lot of way-out ways of doing it.
Well, I don't know anything about them, so I can't say whether he has or not.
And what's he going all over town asking people questions for?
Well, he's trying to find out what everybody knows about her illness.
Now, tell me, what is all this seance business? I mean, what does a doctor have to do with that kind of a thing? That's not a doctor's normal sphere of activity.
This is not a normal case.
Yeah. I know you're going to be mad at me again and blame me for this, but we're friends, and friends ought to be able to talk about things. Why is all this opposition against Laura?
Because Mrs. Stoddard made us all promise to keep David away from her.
Ah, that's Liz Stoddard. She wants David for herself. She didn't like Laura 10 years ago when they first met. I know, I was there. What about you?
You want the truth? You're not going to like it.
Why don't you let me be the judge?
Well, there are an awful lot of things about Laura Collins that are questionable. No, they're downright mysterious.
I wish you'd be a little specific.
All right, I'll give you the facts. Well, she came back here after many years without a word to anyone.
But she's been ill for a long time. You know that. She's well now. And she has a mother's natural longing to see her son. What's wrong with that?
Well, that part of it is fine. I'm the first to be in sympathy with it. But an awful lot of strange things have happened since her arrival.
Strange things are always happening up at Collinwood.
But these have to do with her. Now, there's Sam Evans and his painting. Then there was the fire at his house when he burned his hands. And what about that fire in her apartment in Phoenix? That body was identified positively as Laura Collins. And don't forget that she was the last person to see Mrs. Stoddard before she went into the trance, and she never even mentioned it. Can you explain these things? Can anybody?
David, you startled me.
Oh, I guess I should have knocked.
No, of course not. My goodness. My home is your home. You can come and go as you like.
Gee, thanks.
Come sit down.
Tell me about your day. What have you been doing? Hmm?
Well, I've been down at the fishing shack, trying to straighten out some of the stuff. Fishing gear.
Planning on going on a fishing trip?
Bert came around and thought I might want to. He might take me out on the bay.
Well, that was very nice of him.
But I don't think they'll let me go.
Why not? I'd let you go if you were staying with me.
You would?
Well, of course I would. Anytime you wanted to.
Burke said I should give some thought about going away with you.
Well, you know there's nothing in the world that would please me more.
Well, I'll think about it.
Good. You think about it very hard, hmm?
Would we go someplace where there's fishing?
If you want to. We could go anywhere at all if you'd go away with me, David.
Burke seemed to think I'd like to go away with you.
Oh, well, he's a very smart man. He thinks very highly of you. I'm sure if he suggested it, he meant it for your own good.
Well, I'll think about it. Mother, what's a seance like?
Oh, just a lot of foolishness.
Well, then how come you went to one last night?
You shouldn't even have been told about such things. As a matter of fact, I didn't go. I just happened to be there.
Well, tell me about it.
There's nothing to tell. The only thing that came of it was that Vicky got very upset. She's a very nervous and high-strung girl. And then, of course, you can't place too much faith in what people like that say. That includes Dr. Guthrie. As a matter of fact, David, they might even say some very wicked things about your mother. You mustn't believe anything they say about me, darling. Will you promise me that?
Hi, Bert.
I just dropped by to tell you better be getting on home. It'll be dark soon.
No, otherwise I'll get in trouble again.
Hey, haven't you forgotten something? Don't I get a kiss?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, David.
Burke. Now that David runs in and out of here, I don't really think you should come here anymore. He might take it into his head to mention something to Roger, and, well, that would ruin everything.
I don't want to talk about David. I want to talk about you.
Well, why don't you stop talking and start thinking?
That's exactly what I have been doing. I just had a little talk with Vicky about you.
That's all I need. You listening to her. It's bad enough, this awful influence she has over David.
I'm very fond of David. And if you would explain a few things that have been happening around here since you came back, then no one would object if you took the boy away.
I know where all this comes from. I can just hear Vicky enumerating everything. The paintings, Sam's fire, the body in Phoenix, Liz's illness. Look at me, Burke. It would take a superhuman being to do all those things. Do you see anything but a woman appealing for your help?
Laura, I want to help.
Then do it. Touch me. I'm flesh and blood. I'm the same woman you once loved. Touch me. But do you feel anything that is any different than someone just appealing for your help? What's the matter? What is it?
Don't work on me, Laura.
Burke, think of the future. Think only of you and me.
Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.